They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies. All the world today knows that we are here and we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around.
How the first Dr. Martin Luther King tribute came about from inspiring a new generation. Around 3 p.m. on a November night in 2008, I got a call from Audrey. I was awake at the time because it was the night that Barack Obama became President of the United States. I wasn't surprised at all that the phone rang at the time and that it was Audrey, because that happens many times. We laughed and cried, and we were so proud that we witnessed and shared that moment on that night, that a black man become the leader of the free world. She said, "Babs, we have to do something. We have to do something. What can we do?" So I said, "Audrey, you're going to do Showcase Tribute." And she said without drawing breath, No, Babsy, we have to do something bigger than this, something really big. We have to do something really big. We're going to join in this inaugural celebration, and we're going to do a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King as well. For without the inspiration of King walking in Selma, Obama wouldn't be able to fly and become presidents. We're going to do a fantastic tribute. We're going to do a sit-down meal. We're going to have entertainment as well. So how are we going to do this? But that passion, that 2-hour phone call, as we watched history unfold before us, inspired the event in January 2009. So I'd like to say to all those artists, dance troupes, actors, etc. over the past 10 years that contributed to the tribute part 1 to 9, thank you from the bottom of my heart, as it could not have happened without you all. Also, collaborators and production crew, too numerous to mention, that helped us realize the vision and encouraged us. Thank you. And Audrey, the architect, the instigator, the visionary, the torchbearer, the warrior princess, thank you. Thank you for your tenacious spirit, keeping this going for so long, and for taking a shy girl like me along for this wild ride. Dr. Martin Luther King tribute should not fade away. It should continue. So community, I'm asking you to let's give it another 10 years and beyond, and never forget the powerful message this great man has given us for over 50 years, that we can be more than, above than. Thank you.
Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation. Now is the time.
Martin Luther King was a great statesman, and let's make no bones about it. His efforts on the road for equality and social justice is immense. His sacrifice is unquestionable, because ultimately he died fighting for equality and justice. One of the things that resonates with me with Martin Luther King is that his quest for justice was not for preferential treatment. It's about leveling that all-important playing field. That's why the tribute events of this nature is absolutely essential. It's essential in order to commemorate his efforts and his achievements, but also as well to educate our young people as they grow up about the struggle that we have as black people have actually faced. The road towards equality and social justice is nothing new. It's something that's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. The colour of our skin, sometimes some sees as a handicap, but for us, it is a mighty statement for one simple reason. Why would you want to hold back a black man because of the colour of his skin? Is it fear that we are great and mighty people? Martin Luther King was a great and mighty man, and the sacrifices that he made statement something called godly responsibility that we all have. Some of us don't want to use it. Some of us feel that we're all right. He had a degree, he was an academic. But some may say, well, just get on with your life. But he didn't, because he looked out. The godliness in him made him look out for his fellow man and say that this is wrong. It made him get a criminal record for standing up for justice. In 1965, President Lyndon Johnson signed the American Bill of Rights, which gave black people the right not just to register to vote, but to vote. That undoubtedly led to Barack Obama being elected President of the United States of America. Thanks to the efforts there of Martin Luther King and his colleagues. This month, January, we'll see the inauguration of Joe Biden as President of the United States of America. But also Kamina Johnson, the first female Vice President, and also she's black, will be sworn into post as well. That is the legacy of Martin Luther King and his colleagues, standing up for truth, equality, and justice. We must never forget these efforts. But importantly as well, at a time where we've got COVID-19, we've got the Windrush scandal, and we had the sad death of George Floyd following police contact, in addition to even a death in custody right here in the United Kingdom. One of the things we must never forget, that road to justice continues. We're not all right. We've got a mighty, mighty long way to go. But what we must be doing is we must be building upon that all-important legacy that has been left by Martin Luther King. Or let's get it right, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. The sacrifices which he made, the passing of the baton. In his infamous final speech, he said, I have seen the promised land. And he went on to say, I may not get there with you. And the following day, he died. That was him passing the baton on, saying, this legacy must continue. There's a lot of work still to be done.
Hi guys, it's English formerly known as Shampers. You might recognize me from performing at the Martin Luther King concert back in 2011 and 2012. So I just wanted to share with you this time around. I know it's very different this year because obviously due to the circumstances, everything now is virtually done. It's online. We're using social media platforms more than ever, just to get things done, really, whether that's starting up a new business venture or, you know, performances, events, different stuff like that. Everything is online now. Back when I was performing at the Martin Luther King concert, the show's subtitle was about overcoming struggles, supporting one another, inspiring the new generation. Dr. Martin Luther King was known for his contributions to the civil rights movement in the 1960s. You know, he was about removing segregation and racism. He paved the way for us, for our generation. So that's why we have to come together and pave the way for the next generation.
And still so much trouble in the world. Still so much trouble in the world. Still so much trouble in the world. That's my eyes this morning. Jason is on the rise once again. The way earthly things are going, anything can happen. You see men sailing on their ego trip, last off in their spaceship, million miles from reality. Got no care for you, got no care for me. So much trouble in the world. Still, Lord, so much trouble in the world. All you got to do is give a little, 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 give a little. One more time, yeah. Street people talking, yeah, we the people struggling, yeah, we the people, we the street people, man, we the people talking, we the people struggling, now they're sitting on the time bomb. The time has come. I said what goes up must be coming on down. And you know what goes around comes around. Still so much trouble in the world, Lord. Still so much trouble in the world. We still got so much trouble in this world. Still so much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. So much trouble still in our world. Still so much trouble in our world. up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Come on now. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitters is gold. Half the story never been told. So now you see the lights. Hey, stand up for your rights. Come on now. Get up, stand up. Get up and stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Get up and stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Most people think great God will come from the skies, take away everything and make everybody feel high. If you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth. And now you see the lights. You can stand up for your rights. Child. Get up, stand up. Oh, child, child. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Get up and stand
Don't
up.
give up the fight.
Life is your
Get up, stand up.
right, so we cannot give
Stand
up
up
the
for your
fight.
Get up, stand up.
Keep on struggling
Don't give up the
on.
fight.
Yeah, we're sick and tired of your ism, schism game. Dying and going to heaven in Jesus' name, Lord. We know and we understand. Almighty God is a living man. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So now you see the light.
What you gonna do?
Stand up for your rights.
Get up, stand up in the morning. Stand up for your rights.
In the
Get up,
morning.
stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Stand up for your
Get up, stand up.
rights.
Stand
Don't
up
give
for
up.
your rights.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up the fight.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Lord, get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Woohoo! Don't give up the fight, my friend. Get up and stand up.
Hi, I'm Empress P. This word of expression is my view that without these giants, as a race of people, we may not be here today. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. Because of their struggle and sacrifice, we are here today. Yes, we are here, living our lives, smoking, drinking, partying, robbing, killing, cheating and backbiting. We are only able to do these things because we are standing on the shoulders of giants like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Marcus Messiah Garvey, Nanny of the Maroons, Paul Bogle, Mary Seacole. But would their shoulders be aching right now from the lack of black progress? And we are here enjoying the fruits of Babylon. We are standing on the shoulders of giants like Rosa Parks, Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie I, Muhammad Ali, Harriet Tubman, Winnie Mandela, Samuel Sharp. Look what we have wasted. Their efforts and fighting was for our rights. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. Remember Nelson Mandela, Katherine Johnson, Jesse Owens, Paul Robeson, Nat King Cole, Josephine Baker. We must fight for the rights of the next generation. Let's build our individual focus. Let's share our dreams together. Let's teach ourselves and our children about our great his and her stories. We are standing on the shoulders of giants again, like Adola Equiano, Amy Jakes Garvey, Frederick Douglass, Walter Tull, Mary Prince, Barack Obama. Let us do for ourselves first as a collective. Let us go back to our motherland, Africa. Let us leave Babylon. Our ancestors are crying to us. Freedom, equal rights, justice, liberty. Don't forget, we are standing on the shoulders of giants. Thank you. Black is not only a colour, it's a lot more. This words of expression is how I see the different shades of blackness. Afro, thick lips, flat broad nose, rhythm, dub, loud, emotional, ageless, coordinating colours, struggle, vibrant colours, pain, massive grin, dreadlocks, chains, red, gold and green, red, black and green, quick, ital, athletic, African, sorrow, oppressed, buzzing, cool, smooth skin, stylish, cocoa butter, ebony, black history, reggae, racism, rap head, creative, musical, large buttocks, soul music, shackles, jazz, Nubian, Kente, Swahili, powerful, Nation of Islam, bondage, kiss teat, curry goat, kotai, Kwanzaa, revolution, drumming, bass, fried chicken, patois, suffering, Barled, Black Power, Black Panthers, Rastafari, plaits, headscarves, greasy faces, cock butty, strong, slavery, blackamoor, sus laws, suspicious, proud, hardworking, misunderstood, bubbly, natural, ja, beautiful, love.
Better than rooted now. My seeds be deep now. Me rooted in the melody. Young girls stay rooted. I done plant my seeds down rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. All my songs come with melanin. Got the heart, got the soul like Harriet. A queen since she born, that was evident. That's evidence of black excellence. I can tell a good dog when I'm petting him. Know that if I have his tribe, he protecting them. Mother of a child of God, I invest in them. Nutrition and brown milk in them. Young Rosa, young Luther, keep marching. Floodgates coming, no, it don't stop them. I know that life, it ain't easy. Your life, it matters, believe me. Roll out the face and the fries. seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. Can pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. All my rules stay embedded in. Hard work, let them know ain't no trending in. Popping off on the charts, that's a better win. Than popping off in the streets, ain't no checking it. I can tell a good dog when I'm petting him. Know that if I have his tribe, he protecting them. Mother of a child of God, I invest in them. Nutrition and brown milk in them. Young Rosa, young Luther, keep marching. Floodgates coming over, don't stop them. I know that life, it ain't easy. Your life, it matters, believe me. Roll out the face and the fries, hiding behind a facade. Young girl, stay rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. Can pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. Watch out, boy! You think you can pull me up out of my stems? Nah, me rooted in the soil. Me rooted in the melon. Young girl, stay rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. Can pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted.
I feel discouraged. I felt discouraged in Chicago. As I moved through Mississippi and Georgia and Alabama, I feel discouraged. Living every day under the threat of death, I feel discouraged sometimes.
Have you heard about Martin Luther King? He was famous for many things. A civil rights leader, a peaceful protester, a hero to many, a great ancestor.
Have you heard about Martin Luther King Jr.? He was famous for many things. A strong black figure. He refused to give up. He put his own life in danger.
Have you heard about Martin Luther King? He was famous for many things. He wanted us all to be treated as equals. No matter the colour of skin we were born into. He believed we were all part of the human race, no matter what colour we have on our face.
Have you heard about Martin Luther King Jr.? He was famous for many things, but he is most remembered for having a dream.
Dr. Martin Luther King, he was a man with more than just a dream. He was a symbol of hope, a spirit of peace, a visionary leader, an ordained minister, and a preacher of love. Inspired by Gandhi, his guide to fight for what was known as the civil rights, non-violent protests, sit-ins with no chains, threatened, beaten and arrested. We will fight until all is changed. Dr. King stood up against injustice, refused the cause of segregation. Equality for all was his education. He put his faith in what is righteous.
This is a Missy Elliott exclusive.
Do it, 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 do it. Get it, 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 get it. Missy in this doing. You ain't never seen Missy in this doing. You ain't never seen. Get it, 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 get it. Back in this Missy hopping out the sunroof. I got about 100 cool shooters with me, 100 troops. Got 100 bands going ham. We don't give a damn. It go up and down, round and round like a ceiling fan. 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 Cool up, 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 cool up. Break up, sweat, make up, lose control. Ain't no AC going hard. Tip up 44, feel like Jay-Z. 4, feel like Jay-Z. 4, feel like Jay-Z. 4, feel like Jay-Z. 4, feel like Jay-Z. Do it, 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 do it. Cool up, 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 cool up. Play this again, I'm finna win, finna go on, finna go in. Me and my friends, yeah, we on 10 and the song never ends, no, the song never ends. Body shaped like a fisheye lens, I make it drop, yeah, I make it bend. Cool off till I feel the wind, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Way too high to get over me, way too low to get under my skin. All the DJs gon' hit that spin, I'ma play this again and again and again. Cool up, cool up, cool up. Cool up, 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 cool up. Do it, 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 do it.
Hey Black Toad, do you know who you are, who you really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be? You should try to be what you're gonna be. Do you know you're gonna be really going? Do you know that you can learn what you want to learn? If you try to learn what you can learn. Do you know that you're strong? Like really strong? Do you know you can be what you want to be? If you try to do what you can do. Be what you can be and learn what you must learn. Be what you must be and tomorrow your nation will be where you want it to be. I want to make an academy that will change the world and people can learn what they don't know. When I grow up, I want to be a policeman to make the world a better place. I want to build homeless shelters for all the people who don't have a house. I know what I want to learn, when I want to learn it, and how I want to learn it. I know that I can keep my mind to it.
Well, hello everyone. I hope you've had a good Christmas, and I'm certainly expecting you to have a blessed New Year. I am Eve Pitts. I'm the vicar of Holy Trinity Church in Birchfield. I've been here for 10 years. Some days it feels longer than that, but it's only 10 years. And it's been 10 good years, productive years. This year has been a difficult year for all of us, but especially if you're a minister, I think it's been particularly hard, and having to take a lot of funerals was particularly hard. No baptisms, a few weddings, but a hard time. Nonetheless, it's been a time of tremendous upheaval. It's been a strange time when I've been forced to think about, as a priest in the inner city, this great place, the inner city gets a lot of bashing because we like, people who don't live in these places think they can they're quite at liberty to bash it if they so wish. So I spend a lot of my time actually with friends who don't live in my part of town and who think they know my part of town. So I've spent time saying, well, actually, the people who live there, they are just as complex as the ones who live in your fairly comfortable neighborhood. One of the things that I've been forced to look at during the past few months, like everybody, we've looked at life and death, hope and despair. And there have been times when, if we're honest, many of us have despaired. One day when I felt really very much at my wit's end after doing 3 funerals, I had a real sense of despair. And the only thing I could actually do was sort of sit down, write some poems, and listen to the birds. So let's talk about life. During the lockdown, what we see was life. People came out. People who were young people came to life. And it couldn't escape my attention that this was something a bit like Martin Luther King, you know. Our streets was absolutely rammed with young people. I went into the square, Market Square, and there they were, young people in their thousands. We looked at our television screen, and there they were. That, for me, was about life. And then I dealt with death in between all of that. But seeing young people on the streets doing more or less the same thing in America and in England, talking about hope, wanting things to change. Martin Luther King was about such a change. And seeing the crowds as we saw them all over the world was just one of those moments of hope, a time when things would change. But it also had times of fear, because I remember being in town and thinking, I haven't got a mask on, and I was surrounded by a lot of people, going at that point against the grain. And so there was a sense of fear, and a lot of people, a lot of us, if we're honest, would have experienced the palpable fear of the past 9 months or so. Crowds and people who, the Black Lives Matter movement, a new definition of what it means to be free. I couldn't help thinking during the Black Lives Matter movement about myself as a young woman, looking at these fabulous young people who were saying enough is enough. But there was also a side in my head saying, well, actually, I remembered as a young woman talking about what it means to be conscious. There was a new sense of consciousness in Martin Luther King's time, and a new sense of consciousness as I stood in the market square surrounded by what seemed like hundreds, and it was hundreds of young black people. What did we mean when I was a teenager and we meet someone in the street and we say, are you a conscious sister? Are you a conscious brother? And basically what it meant, were you aware of your history? And I think this lockdown and the marches in town and in Africa and Caribbean and all America was about a level of consciousness that I'd not seen since I was 16. Yes, I was once 16 years old, and as a 16-year-old, I remember sitting down with people my age group talking about the level of consciousness that was needed to propel black people into a new stratosphere, doing something new. So I recall that on many occasions during the lockdown, but certainly during the marches, the Black Lives Movement march. For me, it was a time of hope. It was a mixture of life and death and hope that, whether it was in my capacity as a priest and burying lots of people, I have to say, there was life and death. But in the midst of these young people, there was a real sense of hope, and that the word consciousness just would not leave my conscious mind, because I was reliving the time when young people, such as the ones we saw, were actually recognizing that things need to change. And yet in that crowd, I felt a deep sense of loneliness and a foreboding, the same kind of foreboding I experienced as a 16-year-old in Nottingham, trying to say to a world which was deaf to our clamor for change and fundamental changes, and yet we were not heard. And I stood there thinking, I hope that this time round, just as it was during Martin Luther King's march, that we are going to be heard once and for all. finally somebody will hear us. Finally somebody will take us seriously. And so in the middle of that crowd, I said to a young woman, so what's your hope? What is it you're marching for? What is your consciousness? And she looked at me sort of with bewilderment. And I said, well, I'm of a certain generation who thinks that to be conscious is to be aware of who you are and your culture. And if there's a people who need to be aware of their culture, it's now. And at the time when I was a teenager and now, it is certainly needed. When I was sitting on my bed listening to the Archers, yes, the Archers for me, yes, yeah, black woman in the middle of Birmingham, yeah, listen to the Archers every Sunday morning. Keep listening for a black voice, and then I think, well, obviously not conscious that we're here because it was made for country folks. And for such a time as this, today is the 70th anniversary of the Archers. And I'm still listening for my voice there because there's still parts of our society in which we're invisible. But we weren't invisible in the summer for all the right and wrong reasons. We're going to march again probably, and I hope that March has produced something, a new level of consciousness. A consciousness that's going to bring fundamental changes, a refreshing course, a refresher of our lives. Yesterday evening I was watching CNN, because if it's not the BBC, it's certainly CNN that I watch. And there was this fabulous young man, he's only 25 years old, and he is a photographer. And he takes the most fabulous pictures of black humanity. And I want to buy his new book. And you know, I must buy it because this young man shows black men and women, but black men in particular, in all their vibrancy. And it made me realize that however much we've done and have achieved in our communities here and abroad, black people are still being portrayed in much the same as they were portrayed in slavery and the 60s, that we are a threat, we're desexualized or over-sexualized. And what this young man did was to take pictures of black men's bodies in not threatening ways, because we're always seen as a threat. So black women are threatened who are over-sexual and over-sexualized, and black men equally over-sexualized. But these photographs, you must buy them, you must buy the book, of black men who look absolutely beautiful in all their blackness. And if nothing comes out of the Black Lives Movement, as we see so many black men have been dehumanized, whether it's with a foot on our heads or whether it's using language in prison, the over-imprisonment of black manhood, whether you're behind walls or you're in the street, the over-imprisonment of the bodies of black men and the over-sexualization of black womanhood. I hope that this year, that even if we don't have any marches, the things we fought for, we will fight for life, we will resist death, and we will seek hope, and we will resist despair, and we'll seek a new consciousness, that black women and black men will be able to define who we are, not on the premise of those who decide who we are, but for us to say, this is who we are. And when we feel alone, that we will remember that the resilience of Martin Luther King, the resilience of our present generation, do not leave them and tell them that it's their turn. We can work with young black men and women to give a new agenda and a new meaning to consciousness. The anxiety of the present age and the vexation of our present age can be replaced with Martin Luther King's dream of a new hope. Have a blessed new year with hope and life and courage. We will consciously face the future. God bless you all. Thank you. Amen.
I didn't mean to end his life, and no, it wasn't right. I can't even sleep at night, can't get it off my mind. I need to get out of sight, for I end up behind bars. What started out as a simple altercation turned into a real sticky situation. Me just thinking of the time that I'm facing makes me wanna cry. 'Cause I didn't mean to hurt him, could have been somebody's son. And I took his heart when I pulled out that gun. Rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum. Man down, rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum. Man down, mama, I just shot a man down in Central Station in front of a big old crowd. Why? Oh, mama, I just shot a man down. It's a 22, I call up Peggy Sue, and she fit right down in my shoe. Would you expect me to do if you're playing me for a fool? I will lose my cool and reach for my firearm. I didn't mean to lay him down, but it's too late to turn back now. Don't know what I was thinking, now he's no longer living, so I'm about to leave town. And I didn't mean to hurt him, could have been somebody's son. And I took his heart when I pulled out that gun. Rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum. Man down, rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum, rum-pa-pa-pum. Man down, mama, I just shot a man down in Central Station in front of a big old crowd. Why? Oh, mama, I just shot a man down in Central Station.
Are you a man, or do you know any men? If the answer to any of those is yes, then please listen on. I've got some important information for you. Did you know that the second commonest cancer in men is prostate cancer. For every 10 men you find, 1.4 will have prostate cancer in their lifetime. So let's look at 10 black men. How many of these do you think will have prostate cancer in their lifetime? 3 or even up to 4 will have prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is the commonest cancer in black men. Many of us will know people personally who have either got prostate cancer or unfortunately have died from prostate cancer. I lost my father to prostate cancer. So are you having difficulty socializing or participating in fun family events or even just regular family life? Is this because it becomes a problem for you each time? You feel the trip is ruined because you need to go to the toilet every couple of minutes. And when you need to go, you've got to get there urgently. You also find that you wake up a lot at night to go to the toilet. You might have even noticed blood in your urine. All these, and you're over the age of 40, those symptoms might suggest prostate cancer. I hear you say, I don't have any of those symptoms. Phew, thank God. That is great. However, if a member of your family, like your brother or your father, has had prostate cancer, you're at risk. And as mentioned earlier, if you're a black man over the age of 40, you're at risk too. So if any of the categories we have mentioned apply to you, please go and see your doctor. In the current pandemic, we're still working. Speak to your doctor on the phone. If after assessing you, your GP is concerned, he will send you to the hospital for further tests and treatment if necessary. If you're at risk and you don't have symptoms, this is the bit I really need you to note. Survival is about 100% when caught early. So, ask your GP for a PSA blood test once a year. This measures the amount of prostate protein in your blood. In cancer patients, the levels are high. You could have prostate cancer even though you have no symptoms because it might be in its early stages. The PSA will pick this up and allow you have an early diagnosis, which will in turn lead to very good outcomes. Your doctor might suggest a prostate examination. Please don't be put off, it might just save your life. Hi there, my name is Dr. Yombo Shuremekun. I'm a GP partner and a GP trainer and a member of the Afro GP Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire group. Please share this with every black man that you know and encourage every black man you know to get an annual blood test. It might just save their lives.
Tear. Together embrace and remember. As a people, we have not had the opportunity to celebrate the lives of our loved ones who have passed during the COVID-19 pandemic. Having spoken to many of those affected in the community, they are riddled with guilt at not being with loved ones in their final moments or being excluded from attending the burial of a parent, family member, or friend due to COVID-19 restrictions. In memory of those that have passed, the tear is a memorial in honor of all lives, in particular BAME communities who seem to be more vulnerable to this deadly virus. World War I and World War II symbolism of the poppy serve to keep a conversation going, lest we forget. The intention is to use this simple but tried and tested approach to bring communities ravaged by the pandemic together through a similar creative symbolism, the tear. A world-renowned artist is commissioned to create the sculpture that will be a permanent memorial located in Birmingham. The sculpture will be unveiled in 2022. The intention is for the memorial to be a place of remembrance for citizens of Birmingham to reflect upon the experience of the pandemic and become a lasting symbol of their loved ones who have passed. Black Story Partnership, of fundraising to assist with the cost to create the tier. And we ask that you offer a small donation to support the journey. Please visit gofund.me tier campaign to donate. Tier. Together, embrace and remember. Peace, love, unity.
And you know, if I was standing at the beginning of time with the possibility of taking a kind of general and panoramic view of the whole of human history up to now, and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? I would take my mental flight by Egypt, and I would watch God's children in their magnificent trek from the dark dungeons of Egypt through a rubber across the Red Sea, through the wilderness on toward the Promised Land. And in spite of its...
Hey, hello there. Oh my goodness, I am so excited today, guys, to be interviewing the one and only Maxi Hayles MBE. Woo, 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 woo. Round of applause. Yes, we have Maxi in the house. Actually, literally, Maxi, you are in your house.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Oh, Maxi.
This place to be.
Oh, amazing. So, Maxi, tell me, how are you feeling today? How have you been getting on with the lockdown and everything, just in general?
Oh, that's fine. I usually just go for exercise early morning, and then come back, have a shower, and relax, read, or watch a lot of Netflix.
Netflix, okay, Maxi.
Yes, and oh yes, but the snow is not. It's not good out there, so I haven't been out this morning. But I'm just relaxing, looking forward to this interview.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, we're going to kickstart. It's only a few questions we're going to ask you, and we're really excited to have you today.
Thank
so
you.
what I wanted you to do is just to kick the interview off, is to tell us a little bit about, you know, the work that you do within your community. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, basically, over the years, I've been advocating on behalf of people, especially Black people. The work involved a variety of stuff. I mean, I was trained as a social worker. I had some people who've got problems with social services coming to me for advice. I worked for 24 years as a housing officer for a voluntary sector, and I mentored in the schools. I mentored within the probation service for to prevent youngsters going to prison. I do so much, and not only that, the racial harassment, racial terrorism, as I'd like to call it, because that's what it is. Always trying to articulate on behalf of people who need that help, and my phone never turns off.
Wow.
Continue now, even when I'm retired.
Wow.
You can call it my passion for justice.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing, Maxi. Your passion for justice. I think that would be the name of your second book.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Passion for justice. That's great. So, in terms of as you know, we are celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's a celebration we do every single year. Yes. And so just to tell us a little bit about, you know, how has Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s work influenced you It sounds like you've been quite influenced, and you're, you know, of a similar vein as
Oh, yes. Well, it's one of the quotes I like about Dr. Martin Luther King is basically an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And it's the need for him to travel all across the United States. He went to Selma. He didn't have to go. And because he saw injustice at the four corners of America and the actual world. And in actual fact, in 1967, he had three evils that he said he had to deal with. And those three evils one was racism, poverty, and the Vietnam War. And we can identify with at least two of those. Racial terrorism in Britain, and also poverty. Hence the need for Rashford, to that young man, footballer, to actually campaign to force the government to make a U-turn. So that poverty still, we can compare and contrast what was happening in 1967 to what's happening today in Britain with Martin Luther King. It's his passion for that justice. Yeah. So that's it. And although I don't think I sit on anywhere near the page of Dr. Martin Luther King, but I do take lots of inspiration from him.
Do you know what, Maxie? Listening to you, when you know the books that I've read about Dr. Martin Luther King, he would have felt the same way as you do. He would have said, I'm not doing anything major. I'm just, you know, it's just my passion for justice. He would have said the same thing. But the thing is, Maxie, you know, stalwarts and great men like yourself that have worked in our communities tireless, you are like our Dr. Kings of our generation. And I know that it might seem like no, but he was just a man. He was just like you, doing whatever he could for his passion for justice, you know? So we just say thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to also ask you a little bit about, as you already know, Martin Luther King is very famous for having, you know, the dream speech. People talk about the you know, his dream. And, you know, he kind of talked about that at the last minute he gave that speech. What are your hopes and dreams for the future of our society? You know, bearing in mind 2020, how that's gone, for 2021, stepping into there, 2021, what's your hopes and dreams?
Well, immediately, Black Lives Matter come to mind. In fact, it just jumped out of me, at me. I'm just very proud to see how Black youngsters across the globe decided to embrace the need for justice. And they're saying that we're not going to stand for any more of this. My open dream is that Black people, especially Black youngsters, will embrace their anger positively, in a positive way, to take it forward, to make globally, and to make people know that we're not going to stand for this anymore. You know, I want them to use that energy positively. Yes, it's not negative. There are lots of COVID-19 can't stop it. It's just there. We just know, and I'm just very proud that, and just feel very optimistic for the future of our generation, of not the generation of our young people, so long as the energy is used positively.
Oh, amazing. Honestly, Maxie, you're an amazing man. And I remember when I first met you and I got to sit and talk with you, I could have sat with you for hours and hours and hours, just listening to you. You're very humble. You're a genuine man of the community, and you have a genuine heart for the community. And I think that's absolutely amazing. I think it's a similar question actually, but you might still have something more to give and say. But what legacy would you like to leave behind? in terms of, you know, I know you've talked about your hopes and dreams, but what sort of legacy would you like to leave behind?
Okay, that's an interesting one. They're all interesting, actually. I hope that some of the work that I've been doing over the years will inspire and guide and to serve as guidance to our community. And as I said, my emphasis is on the young generation. But perhaps the late former President Nelson Mandela put it this way, which is much more better than I could. He said, actually, quote, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what we have done to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we live." I think that puts it in a nutshell, really. I hope that what I've managed to contribute so far to enable Black people to benefit more within this inequality, inequal society. I hope that the young people can just take that forward, and that people can just say, well, that boy, that man Maxie, I heard about him in history. He did this, he did that, you know, and I'm not going to allow this to happen to it. We're going to stand up and be counted. That sort of thing. That's what I would like.
Wow. And just before we round up, I just wanted to ask you, tell us a little bit about your MBE and also about some of the work that you are doing in the future, in the near future. I know that I'm working alongside you, I'm working with you on that, but it'd be really good to share a little bit about how you felt about gaining that MBE, and also a little bit about your future steps and what you're looking to be doing, linked to your book probably.
Oh yes, taking it to the max. Yes, I've tried to address a few things in the book, taking it to the max. But you know, in terms of the MBE, it became a standing joke within the community when certain people saw me. My pastor, for instance, when he see me, he used to say, "Maxie Hayles, MBE." And other people used to say, "It's about time you get the MBE." And so it becomes a regular thing, you know, so we just take it as a regular joke. But when I heard I got it, I was surprised to say, because, you know, people like me who usually speak our minds, don't have these type of things bestowed on us often. And so, you know, I take it, and I take this. I don't make any excuse that I'm taking it because my wife says I should, or my friends say I should, because, you know, there are a few people who feel that you're sold out when you accept these things. But we live in, I like to say this, we live in a society rich with rewards, but within that, we have to participate to get the benefit of that reward. We talk about equality. We have to participate to get equality. We can't just stay out and just be spectators. We need to participate in that process. And you know, every time I think of the award, I think of a 95-year-old Reverend C.T. Vivian. He was a civil rights icon. He died in July 1995 at the age of 95.
Yes.
And he was awarded in 2020. He was awarded America's highest honor, and that's a model of the freedom by President Obama in 1913, to be fair. And he had this to say: only the things that help others matter. If it can be used to help others, then it matters. If it doesn't allow you to help other people, it doesn't matter. And I feel that this MBE can help. I see it as a key, rather than kicking down the door, to help to open the door. Yeah, I'm accepting this. I'm humbly accepting this MBE on behalf of my ancestors, my mother, my father, those people that came across the Atlantic with the whip on their backs. They're not here to accept it. And I'm here to accept that on their behalf. We have been a part of this empire for years. And we can't change this society overnight. We can't just change it over, tilt it on its back. So within that, we need to actually participate and use it for what it is. It's an MBE, yes, I'm gonna accept it on behalf of my four parents. Wow. Regardless of what anyone say, I believe, and I'm taking it because wow. as CT, Reverend C.T. Vivian says, if it's worthy to do anything for people, then it's worthwhile having. I believe it is.
Oh, Maxie, like I said, I could speak to you for hours. And I, for one, I'm very proud of, you know, knowing you and knowing some of the work that you've produced and what you've done. Reading your book is inspiring, taking it to the max, you know, and being involved in the project of trying to dramatize and create and turn your story into like theater and film. You know, that idea is just very exciting. And, you know, we applaud you for taking that award, because it doesn't really matter what the people say, because people are going to say something anyway, exactly. Whichever way you look at it. But the main thing is, like you said, you know, the motive of you receiving that and taking that is all the same motive geared towards your passion for justice. Your passion for justice. This is what you said at the beginning, and I've held on to that throughout this interview. And it's just been a beautiful thing, you know, to listen to you and the reasons behind why you do what you do. So you're not just helping your own children come up in life to see you stepping up differently. You're also helping a multitude of children that are coming up and stepping up. So we thank you.
Yes, it's not for me, it's towards posterity and legacy. It's for those young people out there.
Amazing. Do you have another quote of Dr. Martin Luther King? Do you have any other quote that you'd like to end on that you like of Dr. King's? Do you have any, or the same quotes?
That's my number one. There's so many quotes. I haven't got, my brain is not enough to contain all of it. But I'll just say, you know, because for me, an injustice everywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It means, Tanya, that we must address injustice wherever we find it, in the factories, on the street, in the parliament, and in neighbors, whatever, wherever it is. To me, that rounded it off, because if we don't address it wherever, and the emphasis is wherever, then it perpetuates itself.
Come on.
See? And this is why I'm so passionate about that particular quote.
Brilliant.
And he said that, he used that quote in his letters from Selma, Birmingham, Alabama, whilst he was incarcerated. You know, so.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Maxie, I just want to say thank you so much. I have a quote here. This quote from Dr. King. So it says, the whirlwind of the revolt will continue to shake the foundation of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. And the reason why I've left you with that, and that's my gift to you, I like that quote, is that really speaks to the man that you are as well. You know, that he you know, what he's saying is, you know, we have to continue until we see justice emerge. Right. No matter which way we look at it.
Yes.
We have to continue through the whirlwind, through the storms, through everything that is trying to shake the foundation, the very foundation of who we are as human beings. Yeah. We will continue until we see a brighter day.
Yes.
Which is when justice emerges. So I will leave you with that quote and my gift to you.
Thank you. It's never ending. Never ending.
Never. Oh, Maxie, yes. I want to say thank you so much. and I can't wait to work with you again and see you soon.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. Thanks for all your hard work and your efforts.
Thank you.
And you know, if I was standing at the beginning of time with the possibility of taking a kind of general and panoramic view of the whole of human history up to now, and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? I would take my mental flight by Egypt, and I would watch God's children in their magnificent trek from the dark dungeons of Egypt through, or rather across the Red Sea, through the wilderness on toward the Promised Land. And in spite of its magnificence, I wouldn't stop there. I would move on by Greece and take my mind to Mount Olympus. And I would see Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Euripides, and Aristophanes assemble around the Parthenon. And I would watch them around the Parthenon as they discussed the great and eternal issues of reality, but I wouldn't stop there. I would go on even to the great heyday of the Roman Empire. And I would see developments around there through various emperors and leaders, but I wouldn't stop there. I would even come up to the day of the Renaissance and get a quick picture of all that the Renaissance did for the cultural and aesthetic life of man, but I wouldn't stop there. I would even go by the way that the man for whom I'm named had his habitat. And I would watch Martin Luther as he tacks his 95 Theses on the door at the Church of Wittenberg, but I wouldn't stop there. I would come on up even to 1863 and watch a vacillating president by the name of Abraham Lincoln finally come to the conclusion that he had to sign the Emancipation Proclamation, but I wouldn't stop there. I would even come up to the early 30s and see a man grappling with the problems of the bankruptcy of his nation. Come with an eloquent cry that we have nothing to fear but fear itself, but I wouldn't stop there. And you know, if I was standing at the beginning of time with the possibility of taking a kind of general and panoramic view of the whole of human history up to now, and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? I would take my mental flight by Egypt, and I would watch God's children in their magnificent trek from the dark dungeons of Egypt through, or rather across the Red Sea, through the wilderness on toward the Promised Land. And in spite of its magnificence, I wouldn't stop there.
Hello everyone, okay, so my name is Cam and I'm going to be singing a couple of songs for you today in support of the cause that we're supporting and celebrating. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy, and yeah, thank you. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we all rise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, but it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those are your needs that you won't let. So you just call on me, brother, when you need a hand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Call on me, brother, when you need a hand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road, I'll say hello. If you just call me, if you need a friend, call me, oh, call me, if you need a friend, call me, I'll be right there, call me, oh, call me, yeah. I was born by the river in a little town, and oh, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know the change
but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there, way beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but no, it ain't gone. Oh, I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but no, it ain't gonna go. Yeah. Then I go to my brother. I say, brother, can you help me, please? But it winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there's been times that I thought I couldn't last very long, but now I see I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but no, just gonna go. Oh yes it will, oh yes it will.
Thank you so much for tuning into my performance. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did happen to enjoy it, make sure you follow my socials. It's I am Cam Music, and that's on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, thank you so much.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. For deep in my heart, I still believe that we shall overcome someday. The collective cry of the many unite in spite of any differences they may have had. The masses gather in an attempt to shatter the chains of bondage and uplift the banner of equality. Priority given to those that march, those that dream. Martin Luther King can be seen on a platform on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, a tutorial to the world of how things should be done, of how battles are truly won united. The greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation, the accolade of veneration due to a change maker, an innovator. I know you're asking today, how long will it take? Not long. Words uttered by a great man, probably unaware of the eternal flare of hope his poetic rhetoric would bring, or of the string of situations to which his inspiration can be applied, or the sting of the power of its truth, not limited to space or time, shared in the here and now through prose and rhyme. Wisdom superseded its years and overtook any fears of the prophetic inevitability that for you and me, his days would be short. Let's just pause there for thought. Isn't it funny how history plays the same stories, relays the same messages, reiterates the same narratives, that out of the wreckages of the uncertain, amongst the disruption of the unknown, the fears of the broken, and the assumption of the unspoken, three things still have their way, prevalent in the threads of the creation of every single day. They are love, hope, and peace. For this the greats never did stray, never did cease to stay true to the knowledge that in all things we will overcome. Martin Luther King, one of many who had a dream, is an example of a man through whom the Supreme Being showed his hand. Because of a decision to take a stand, to take the stand, to stand is one that changed so much. Such is the power of destiny's call, a hereditary line of light to which we can all be a part, knowing that with every seeming tragedy exists the possibility of growth in the sunlight of opportunity, to embrace our blended community. So, let us rise on the winds of peace, soar on the wings of unity, be embraced by the arms of love, and stand on the foundation of hope. I say to you today, my friends, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Greetings, give thanks. The next one is called There's a Lot of Tribulations Going Through My Brains and My Veins. You know, when you're an African, you come to Europe or America the first time and you don't have papers. Sometimes the things you go through. There's a lot of tribulations going through my brain, and John knows it's driving me. Anytime the tune nice, it must come twice. Dig it up again! In slavery, the system. Me no want no more. There's a lot of tribulations going through my brain, and Jah knows it's driving me insane. There's a lot of tribulations going through my brain, and Jah knows I've got to smile again. The world become like a circle. Everything we work and get goes back to them. And they say we have freedom, freedom. But I know it's a modern slavery. Cause I am not free to go where I want to go. Too much borders, too much troubles in this world. Too much war, I want. Under the sun, Yagayo, take a look in Africa, where there is mineral resources. There is someone out there to cause crisis. There's a lot of tribulations going to my brain, and Jah knows it's driving me insane. There's a lot of tribulations going to my brain. And Jah knows I've got to smile again. We've been through time and faces, many different time and changes. Oh, we want to be free. I don't wanna be a bad man no more. I only wanna be a good man to the Father. Jah, I wanna be a good son. All mothers and fathers, take care of your children, and whether they are black or white. Listen, life in a Babylon is no easy. If you're not strong, they will call you lazy. The system's so tight, it can drive you. There's a lot of tribulations going through my brain, and Jah knows it's driving me insane. There's a lot of tribulations going through my brain, and Jah knows I've got to smile again. Listen, long time ago, we were brought to Babylon as slaves, and if you ask me why, only Jah knows. But nowadays, people sell their right and even sell their soul to come to Babylon and be so low. How lovely would it be for us all to live under the sun as one? I've never been to school, but I've been to the street universities, so you cannot take this Russeama for a fool. There's a lot of tribulations going through my head, and Jah knows it's driving me insane. There's a lot of tribulations going through my head, and Jah knows I've got to smile again.
It's by design. It's all by design. Yeah.
A number of West Midlands police officers have been taken off their usual duties following concerns over their use of force, shown in a video that's being shared on the internet.
They want us in a war we ain't ready for. Because unity is strength. But we ain't using core. They want us rioting, reckless, running around holding force. They want us acting our emotions, because we're feeling raw. All in aid of a police state and for martial law. Know the ledge, know the time, and just know the score. That's why supremacy gets even closer to your front door. If it's not enough in this world for us to be black and poor, they want to spill our blood on the floor and just kill us some more. And we continue to wear our black hearts on our black sleeves. Whilst I choke and murder black males out here, still I can't breathe. Privilege can't comprehend the rage. And the same old saying ain't really bringing about the change. They teach us to turn the other cheek, but never turn a new page. Our eyes see in the information age. Stay woke to the entities feeding off our pain and sorrow. To achieve order from their created chaos, you know what will follow. The truth is always the hardest pill to swallow. We need to stand in unison for our children's tomorrows. Melanated lives being erased by hollows. Think before acting, because time and life can't borrow. This is all by design, don't be mistaken. Stay connected, don't fold or be shaken. Keep your vibrations up and don't feed into fear. Let your soul be cleansed from all those falling tears. I feel the dust kicking up. The ancestors are near.
According to the Metropolitan
Burn up the sage, but still sharpen the spear.
First aid was provided by a police officer, but died in hospital later. Well, an investigation is now underway, and the officer's contact with the man is being examined.
No drama in my life. Hey, hey, hey. I slay, I don't play. It's my way or the highway. Walking into my week, I'm just like keep your shade, I don't need it. Keep your ways, I don't feel it. Keep your woes, I ain't dealing. Keep your claims, I ain't hearing. You don't know how much I know. You ain't never gonna understand my growth. You don't see how much I've seen. You ain't never gonna understand my dreams. I don't want no drama. I don't need your drama in my life. I don't want no drama. I don't need your drama in my life. I pray for you, it's my way. Karma, walking into my future, I'm singing. Keep your lies, I'm honest. Keep your fakery, I'm a realist. Keep your fears, I'm stronger. Keep your excuses, I'm on it. You don't know the best of me. You only know what I let you see. Change is here, the time is now. So keep my name out of your mouth. I don't want no drama. I don't need your drama in my life. I don't want no drama. I don't need your drama in my life. I don't want no drama. I don't
talk about rings, or we could talk about how we're kings. Talk about your car more, or talk about Moors. How we built pyramids, Anglos took how the story's ours with their twists. Talk about the tectonic plates, how they shift with your energy too. Don't you know this is it? The time the levels raise and levees break. People looking for like one meal a day. But wait, we throw away scraps on our plate. Wait, this ain't just normal raps on a page. Most of the tell you is a maze. Rappers will tell you how much drugs they sold in a day. But wait, ain't that dry snitching to my face? Maybe that's the way they deal with the fake. Over here we ain't fake, we keep it real. That's how we deal with the days that we got in front of our face. But wait, but I let it go. I just let it go. I just let it go. I just let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Go, 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 go. Let it go. Go, 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 go. Let it go. Go, go, go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I ain't been to church in a minute, maybe because it's hard to believe in it. I ain't spoke to my man in a minute. They said that he was here in the beginning. It's up to him if he's here in the ending, and they're saying that I'm winning, but I'm sinning. How I'm living life. C9C's on my back, headphones in the building, and they're saying that we're back. C9C's what you see on my clothing, cause that's what I'm owning. Going on a little sick, but I'm just rolling up, clouding up in your term, smoking. Just by the look at the movement, they think that we're boasting. Really they're just slow coaches, moving like Tony Montana, bury you cockroaches. They're just unfocused, they doubted on me, hated on me, now I'm just focused. Yeah, but I let it go, I just let it go, I just let it go, I just let it go. You gotta let it go, you gotta let it go, you gotta let it go, 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 go. Let it go, 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 go. Let it go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Old pirates, yes, they robbed by, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have is redemption songs. Redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop at the time. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We gotta fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have is redemption songs. Redemption songs. slavery, none but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. So how long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say that it's just a part of it. We gotta fulfill the book. But won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? That's all I ever have is redemption songs. These songs of freedom is all I ever have is redemption songs. This morning, I smiled with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, every little thing, it's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. I rose up this morning, I smiled with the rising sun. I saw 3 little birds that pitched by my doorstep. They were singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. You know what they said? This is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright, 'cause you know it's gonna be alright. Don't you worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry, don't you worry, yeah. Every little thing, oh, you know it's gonna be alright. He said, trust in me and everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. All we gotta do is trust in him. Yes, we gotta do is trust in him, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright.
some great man who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for our rights. JP. Recall Paul Bogue. Recall Marcus Garvey. Recall Nelson Mandela. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for our rights. Recall them. JP. Recall them. Recall Malcolm X. Recall Martin Luther King. Recall Martin Luther King. Recall Martin Luther King. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for our rights. Recall them.
Wasifa in the mix.
Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Bob Marley, who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Rodney Price, he's been fighting for our rights. Recall Bernie Spear, recall Culture Josephine, recall Miss Lou Fitzroy, they've been fighting for our rights. Recall them. Recall them. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Paul Bogle. Recall Marcus Garvey. Recall Nelson Mandela, who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Bustamante. Recall Norman Manley. Recall Oprah Winfrey, that lady, been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men. Recall them. We talk about Martin Luther King. Make we talk about Fidel Castro. Make we talk about Miss Rosa Parks. They've been fighting for our rights. Recall Che Guevara, Malcolm X and Gandhi. Recall Mugabe. They've been fighting for our rights. Recall them. Slashy, I say recall them. Let's recall them.
them the rent and the mortgage due. Yeah. When me chalice, when your best friends are gone and it's only you. Yeah. Light up a split, turn up the music. Skanking sweet. Everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know feel a reggae music sweet. Yeah. Skanking sweet.
JB Wasifa in the mix.
Skanking, hallelujah. Skanking, grooving, hey, ja. Yeah. Skanking, grooving, under pressure. Yeah, skanking, grooving. Under the pressures of your life and it tough. No stay down, mama, time pick it up. No bother with the down, full style, strictly up, full vibes. Now pick it up when the bills, them, the rent and the mortgage due. Yeah. When me chalice, when your best friends are gone and it's only you. When I took a split, turn up the music. Skanking sweet. Everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know feel a reggae music sweet. Skanking sweet. Everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know feel a reggae music sweet. Skanking sweet. For every pain there's a melody. Yeah. For every trouble there's a harmony that brings everything together. So make we sing together. And who said life no order? And every man got this struggle. I beg you to help me, Lord, and let me overcome my trouble. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know feel a reggae music sweet, yeah. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know feel a reggae music sweet, yeah. Skanking sweet. We skank it till our morning come. Until the day when my troubles are done. Hallelujah. We're grooving in our jazz. We're grooving on my troubles. Everybody wanna feel like the troubles and the rock with
Let me start that one here. Like how Martin Luther King would have started. My dream, my dream, my dream, my dream, my dream. Tell you my Let me start that one here. Like how Martin Luther King would have started. My dream, my dream. My dream, my dream, my dream. Tell you my dream is to live my dream. Hear the most high in me sleep when me sleep. Tell you my goal, my goal, my goal. All of my goal is to reach my goal. Live a happy life, put it on me headstone. Nobody no fi cry over me dead. Look at me now, when them treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now, oh, look at me now, oh, look at me now. And me can tell you my life, where them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now, look at me now, look at me now. Me a take plane like JUTC. When you see me, it's on TV. Shows after shows after shows after shows. Tours after tours after tours after tours. When me name call is like roars after roars. Sweet melody and chorus after chorus. Them like a one door, we must doors after doors after doors after doors after doors after doors. Look at me now, when you treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now, oh, look at me now, oh, look at me now. And me can tell you my life, where them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now, look at me now, look at me now. The blessing in a cover. Judge a soldier, from boardhouse to sidewalk to the sofa. They listen to me like a
every time I rise, we do it for the love and I do it for the light. Do it for the love and I do it for the light. Do it for the love and I do it for the light. Make them know success don't come overnight. No make them know a substance over hype.
JB Wasserfuck in the mix.
I know everybody I got like JB Irie. Come in a love life. JB in a dancehall style. I know everybody I got like JB Irie. Come in a love life. No JB Dynamexx. We do it for the love and I do it for the light. Do it for the love and I do it for the light. Do it for the love and I do it for the light. Success don't come overnight. No matter no substance over hype. Do it for the love and I do it for the light. No for them love life, that's alright. See them on a post and a tweet all night. See them on social media type. While like say them they a studio a vice. Oh me never bought them up on no flight. And me never see them a live no tour life. You miss someone now you have so much likes. I'm always still a lead by iTunes. Simple mean we not ready, yeah. If we put the music first, that's all. While we there on a war and a hype. We work, dance all. When you see me, yes, I see I. And every tune when me ever write. And every show where we headline. No, we not do it for the likes, but me tell them we do it for the love. We not do it for the likes. Wa-da-da-dee-da-da-dee. Do it for the love, we not do it for the likes. So shut and quench them. Instead we tell them sell it gonna buy a yen yen. Family, the love we not need with the light. Family.
If I want to be a fern killer, JP, me no believe in a fern killer. Family, and me say family. Me love me family, them to me heart. You only dear one of them. Kill the baby to the end, from me start. Real better them. Cause them no know when we a buy 3 sardines and 1 pound of rice from shop. And them no know when we a get chased by cops and the and the drop. And all the woman make it now. You know how struggle feel. You know all of them. You know how free now make them trick me and kill me. No way, you must see mad. Life are the greatest thing that me no left. And me no left my God. Clear say them a mangoes. Them know say that you then a friend. They me no play like rhythm and blues. Man loyal, too loyal. Someone with his think up like court trial. Informer one judge have me pan trial. Them days that me don't just no boy nor girl. Me no know if heaven is real, but me know fear fuck and no every man. Some boy heart nothing a clean. Them no want see a next youth living. The love evil and demon. Them can't stop me in Audrey Island. Anytime me a drive on my van. Big fat, now me right down.
JB Wasserfuck in the mix.
JB.
I know
hesitate, now no vacancy. Last time, see you on FaceTime, shutting up the place, bout you know my relationship. Me, I go put you on lockdown. Put your body on lockdown. You got me on lock now. Got my person on lock. Oh, if you love me, you should let me. You should let me. You should let me know. And if you don't know, better feel let me. Better feel let me. I better you let me go. Pulling up, pulling up, pulling up. Nobody deal with the bagel and talking. Me nothing now, we are chilling at apartment. Hope you don't mind me asking, where will we go? When the quarantine thing done and everybody touch road. Mommy, me gonna start, pull up in a fast start, yeah. I know fast start, make you want the fast start, yeah. I know you're feeling me, you know I'm feeling you. So what now we for do, yeah. Say you want, say you want, say you want, say you want, say you want.
Smart it. I'm telling you, but just love yourself. I mean, value yourself, think highly of yourself. No, you're very important. Hashtag, I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal. You're my friend, I'm a big deal. JB. Yeah, we're kinda important. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. Smart it. I'm telling you, just love yourself. Value yourself, think highly of yourself. You're very important. Hashtag, I'm a big deal.
JB Wasifa in the mix.
I'm a big deal. You're my friend, I'm a big deal. Yeah, we're kinda important. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. And my friends are some big deals. Very, very, very important. For real. This has nothing to do with money or fame or vanity. This one is all about self-worth. So big up your chest and stand proud and don't matter about nobody. No man no more than a man on this earth. So whether you walk or you a drive car, I tell if you're white or black like tar, me feel good in yourself, you're a star. Push up on no one and tell all the haters I'm a big deal. You're my friend, I'm a big deal. I'm if you tell you, yeah, we're kinda important. Okay. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. Believe me, my friends are some big deals. Very, very, very important. For very. For real. It's like you have the Prime Minister, and then you have way. That's the order in a free country. Yes, that's the status of the hierarchy. Ask anybody about it. 4.0 at the top, at the top, at the top, at the top.
And you know, if I was standing at the beginning of time with the possibility of taking a kind of general and panoramic view of the whole of human history up to now, and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? I would take my mental flight by Egypt, and I would watch God's children